Okay, so in today's video, what I'm trying to show here is I have a Hero 4 Silver, which was just sent to me upon acquirement from somebody who I will credit in the credits. So far I've been screwing around with this camera a little bit, and I wanted to go through it and show some of the new features compared to maybe some of the older versions, and while I'm doing that, also include my current camera, which I've been using for a while, which is the Contour Plus 2, and show the ease of operation with this camera versus some of the other cameras. So what makes the Contour so friendly is that you have this large button up top that basically you flip it forward. Basically that's what it does. One button operation. And of course I have the SD card removed at this time, so it's going to flash that. But normally these two would light up green, that would go red. And if you had your GPS enabled, this will track your trips. This will track your location. It will give you a map readout when you do upload the camera. Of course, you have to download, just like GoPro, you got to download all their little fun toys to play with the video. This also does Bluetooth. The Contour has an issue with the Bluetooth. I haven't really been able to sync it to anything Bluetooth wise. It does have a mic jack, which you need the converter for. One thing with the Contour that people enjoy the Contour is it has the rail system. And then if you pop this open here, let's see if I can do this one-handed. You pop this open here. Inside you have your USB cable connection. You can set up 2 different mode settings. You can save these. You have another, I think it's an HDMI, the micro SD slot, and the battery. You can actually take the battery out and buy 2 different batteries if you'd like. But the dual option's pretty cool because you can set it up to where you can capture an extremely high vis, so you set 1, and then low grade set 2, and then low grade will give you more battery life. One thing this button does on the back is it has a status. When you click the status button, generally it should show green lights light up here at the top. Yeah, see, it says the battery's full, but the card is junk. So card is currently not installed. Also, the status button will give you the infrared leveling. I have it just offset slightly right now. What I mean by offset is this thing has a gauge. So you've got 0 and then the arrow where it would actually line up to, and you can rotate it all the way up to 180, all the way to 90. Oh, sorry, I was thinking 270, but no, it's all the way to 180 in the opposite direction. So you can turn the camera virtually upside down, left to right, or vertical. So horizontally, vertical, and upside down if you choose to. Plus it has the screw-in type for a like a tripod, like a standard camera tripod. This camera is very easy to use. I've had good quality with it. Also, if you notice on the helmet here, it just slides on via the rail system. Very easy to take on and off. This mount I've had to relocate because it wasn't set up correctly. It still might not be set up correctly, but it is 3M tape. I basically super glued it. That's why I've got this weird discoloration on this helmet, but I could care less. I mean, whatever. And then onto the GoPro. As we all know, the GoPro has helmet connections, comes with the waterproof case box. Pretty easy to open. You know, you grab the front, you clip the front and back, and then you move this out the way, and you can open up. Of course, it's new, so you open it up that way. And I usually do keep that closed for dust. And then, of course, GoPro camera. I found this camera to be interesting. So if you have yourself set up, or you have a mode already set up, you can turn it on via this button, or you can have your mode set up. So let's try the mode setup here. Now what this does is this should already be set up in camcorder, and it's going to read my SD card, and then it's going to start recording right away. So all I have to do is one button, press that, and it will start up, which makes life easy when I have it connected to my helmet. All I got to do is press the top button, it will go inside and press on that button via this cap right here, that one there. And notice when I did stop recording, it turned itself back off. This does come with a camera, or a cover, by the way. I have that removed just because of my reasonings for this. So let's go ahead and turn the camera on the normal way. You hold it till the red light shows up, turns on, and if you notice, let's see how clean I can get this. It shows me my 1080 with 60 frames per second. It shows that I have 2 hours of battery life, and I'm on my second recording. That's that number 2 down there. One thing with this camera, one thing that is very cool with this camera is we have a video screen, which I'm not sure if the previous models had this or not, but this is one thing that I kind of wanted, versus the Contour does not have that. So this is actually a really cool option. And this is touchscreen, so you'll notice it says slide to unlock. So we unlock it. Whoa, that thing needs to focus. Focus! Holy moly. Alright. This is terrible. Well, anyways, you have video setup, single and burst. And then you have your playback, and then you have setup. So, if I get this thing to focus. Focus! There's just a lot of it's about as good as I'm gonna get it. So if we go into setup sometime today, there we go. Yeah, it doesn't like my finger in the picture apparently. Okay, you'll notice it says wireless. Oh, come on, focus. Well, anyhow, so the top one says wireless, the second one says touch display, the third one here says orientation up. You can actually reverse this so that if you mount the camera upside down, you can get recordings as well. Default mode, this is where if you press the top button that has the red indicator on it, it goes into quick mode. Default mode will activate that. I have it set up for video. And if you enable quick capture on, this enables the default mode. So quick capture is the next setting there. You can go ahead and activate that. That will turn on the top button, and default mode will be my video associated with the top button up there. LEDs, I'm not really sure what that does, but I think this will show the flash on the front of the camera so that you know if it's recording. I'm going to turn that off because it saves battery life. Plus, from what I understand, I've heard that some of the highway patrol operators don't like videotaping. But in a personal preference, when you videotape, whether you're a motor vlogger or a personal videoer like me, I just like to make them for my personal enjoyment and possibly somebody else's if they watch the videos. Also, it's a crash deterrent. If somebody causes you to have an accident, I would rather have video of it. That's kind of why I ride with my helmet cameras on at all times now, because of that situation. The next selection here is beeps. Basically, whenever you select something on off, it beeps. That's really incredibly annoying. The Contour 2 has the same function. I turn those both off because it's annoying. You got your video format. You can format either NTSC. See if we can get that to focus. Focus. Oh man. Oh, there we go. Well, not very good, but NTSC or PAL. I'm not sure the difference of those. You'd have to ask somebody who has a lot more familiarity with video formats, or Google is your friend. We have auto off, which is never auto off, being that the camera will auto itself off. Say you're in a position where you forgot to, you turned it on and you forgot it was on. So I'm sure we all go through periods like that. And then we have date and time settings, where you can set your date and time. You can delete, meaning you can basically delete anything on the camera. See, it says delete all, or last is at the top, and then all/format is at the bottom. You can't really see that. There, maybe I'll do it this way. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll be able to see it better doing it this way. Okay, and then you've got at the very bottom here, you should have camera reset. Camera reset will set it back to its factory settings. I have not done that yet, only because I like to keep my settings set up. So once we exit setup, now we're back in the video mode. So what you can do is, if you tap the bottom of the screen, it pulls up your individual video settings, which you'll see the resolutions here. Starting from the top, we have 4000K, 2.7K. Okay, can you see that? Good. 1440, 1080 Super View. 1080 Super View is the view I use, the view that most people seem to like the best. It gives you a very broad viewing plan. Okay, I lost my video there for a second. So 1080 Super View, which is the best view that I've seemed to be able to use. 1080, 960, 720 Super View, 720, and WVGA, whatever that is. Don't know what WVGA is. Then if we go to back, you'll have your focus. Okay, well, and here you can set up your resolution, you can set up your mode, you can set up your frames per second. We'll look at that. Starting from the top, you have 60, 48, 30, 24, and I happen to use 60 because 60 is the fastest rate, frames per second that you can get, which gives good quality recordings. I mean, it's fluid. Field of view, you have wide. For some reason, I have the 1080 Super View is only in wide. I haven't tried the other modes. We can go ahead and do that now. So let's turn Super into 1080 regular, and let's go to field of view. See, now we have wide, medium, and narrow. I have not done videos of what those look like, but at least you know you have a, well, you know what, here, field of view, let's try it, medium. Exit. Okay. There's that. So let's go back to field of view, narrow, and let's hold it at the same angle. Oh wow. Now you see how much further zoomed in that is? That is a big difference. Now if we go back to 1080 Super View, I mean, look at the view plane. You know, narrow was so zoomed in that all you could see was this my pamphlet, like right here. I'm holding the camera in the same position, and Super View almost shows the edge of my ottoman here. Super View is showing a lot of stuff. I mean, it shows all the way to the left, all the way to the right. That's crazy. Okay, so let's go back in here. Let's see, wide spot meter. I don't know what spot meter does. I think spot meter is a I've turned it on, but it doesn't seem to change anything. I thought it had to deal with like a distance frame, you know, kind of like an old 32mm cameras. You had the you could zoom in your lens and you could see the distance, what you're looking at. It kind of gave you a frame of what you could focus on. But Spot Meter, I don't seem to have that on here. In ProTune, I've turned ProTune on, and it seemed to malfunction with the camera, my SD card. So if you do want to use ProTune, you're going to have to opt for the gold card, which is an HD card specifically, which I do not currently have, and those things are probably on average $15 to $20 more just having that little gold labeling on them. But it has the high definition, it has the higher speed capabilities. See, so you have ProTune. Within ProTune you have white balance auto, GoPro color, ISO limit 6400. You can change this to 1600 and 400 as well. I don't know what ISO limit means, but maybe I should turn that down and try it again. Sharpness on high, EV compression. You have all the way to -2 and all the way to +2. Okay. And then you have reset ProTune. Me particularly, I haven't gotten ProTune to work, so I turn ProTune off. And then of course from the screen you go back and you can slide left and get your single, burst, and playback. So you can do this all from the touch screen. If I leave it on video, you can also, on the side of the camera here, there it looks like a little wrench. Yeah, a little wrench button. If you press the little wrench button, it goes into your video settings. So you don't have to press on the screen if you don't want to, as far as going up and down. There we go. So then in single, you have 12 WMP. Slide that up as well. Focus. All right. Megapixels. You've got megapixels from 12 MP wide to 7 MP wide. Oh, wait a minute. What happened? Go back. Down to 7 MP medium and 5 MP medium. Go back. Spot meter on off. Now this might be helpful for spot meter for the single shot camera. ProTune is on as well. That's going to give you your GoPro color, your ISO limits at 800, sharpness at 800, EVO compression, the same thing we had before, except the limits have changed. The highest limit on this is 800, 400, 200, and 100. So with the single shot, you're going to get a little less quality, it looks like. See, there is no gauge again. That's why I don't understand what that the spot meter does. I haven't quite figured that out. So, and of course the book is very vague. The book doesn't tell you much about spot meter at all. Now let's go to burst. Burst mode is basically set up with same kind of configuration for the megapixels. You have MP or 12 MP wide, 7 MP wide, 7 MP medium, 5 MP medium, and then you'll have your rate of photos per second. That's the key, because the photos per second is how fast this thing's gonna flash, and obviously it'll catch how fast, you know, the slow motion of the faster. Let's see, how can I explain this? So let's start from the top. 3 photos per second. That is incredibly slow. When you look at the default settings of 30 photos per second, that is a lot of flashes per second. Think of how quickly a second is. So starting from the slowest speed, you've got 3 photos per second, 5 photos per second, 10 photos per second, 10 photos per 2 seconds, 10 photos to 3 seconds, 3 photos per second, 3 photos every 2 seconds, 30 photos every 1 second, 30 photos every 2 seconds, and 30 photos every 3 seconds. So having the fast flash capabilities, you can take, let's say, sort of like a slow motion video, so to speak. And of course, 30 photos per second, everybody's going to leave it at default, because that'll get you your best capture rate at the highest quality you can possibly imagine. So I will go back into video. Okay, real simply here, you have in the playback function will show you your current files. Real simply, when you click on one of these, it'll pull up the video you're working with. You can click play, fast forward, or reverse. You can also click the button down there on the far right, which will take you to what's all on the what's all on the memory card. You can also click the delete button and the delete button here, and then the X button to go back. So you can watch. What's nice with the screen is you can watch your you can watch what is already recorded. Let me zoom in here. Come on now. You can watch what's already recorded via the little TV screen here on the camera, which is actually pretty nice. And then of course, turning it on and off is really easy. You basically just hold the front down. Oh, did I go back into play? Yeah, I went back into playback mode by accident. Oops. And then you hold it. See, and there she goes. She powers off. Pretty simple. Found the mechanics of this camera to be pretty gnarly. I mean, once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to work with it. See, a little SD card pops out. So that is the Hero 4 versus the Contour Plus 2 in its entirety of features and functions as I know them, as I use them. Other people may have some other things that they can add. There's one other cool feature I found on this GoPro Hero 4. is when you push this button right here at the bottom, it'll shut your screen off. So say you're playing with the camera and you don't want to bump the screen like I did earlier in my earlier video when I went to turn it around. See? Well, now I can't get it. There we go. Okay. But yeah, you can turn the screen off with this little tiny button, which requires some finesse.